Hi everyone, this is Victor from crushcrypto.com. I'm here at Palo Alto at QuarkChain's office, and I'm here with Qi, founder of QuarkChain. Thanks for having me.
It's my great pleasure. Hello everybody.
Yeah, so right now we're at SF Blockchain Week, and I know that you guys are pretty involved with the conference, and you guys have a lot of events during the past week. Could you tell us a little bit about the latest update of the project and also the events that you guys have been hosting this week?
Yes. So we actually, one major event we have is that we have open source our projects several weeks ago, and so we are also hosting TPS competitions on our open source code, so that we encourage everybody to be able to set up their network and to explore our code and investigate what's the performance they can get.
So it's pretty much like a stress test of the network?
It's both, including two parts. One is set up the network, and second is stress test the network.
Okay.
And so set up the network is set up the testnet by the basically everybody can set it up. And also we provide the tools to generate the traffic to perform the stress tests.
Okay.
Yeah. And so we also attend the San Francisco Blockchain Week events. We have a workshop, basically from engineering perspective. We introduce our project with more engineering details and also some more details related to our code, and also go through of our TPS competition by setting up a simple testnet.
Right.
And so this is the one event. And also I joined a panel that is hosted by Google ABC community, and then discuss the sharding, which is considered to be one of the future technologies for blockchain, and what its historical background, and how it can address some blockchain issues,
right,
and what are the limitations, together with other projects including MOAC, including Near Protocol, and also includes Harmony.
Right. And I think you guys also host a hackathon over the past week. Is it?
Yeah.
Okay.
And so we also co-host with Ontology.
Okay.
To hold a hackathon.
Was it held in San Francisco?
Yes.
Okay.
San Francisco last weekend.
Okay.
And we see some very interesting project that is developing, and also we see a lot of some new business model and ideas that are developing. So yeah, I think there are a lot of exciting things that is happening.
Very interesting. And I think there's one thing that's on a lot of token holders' mind is the token distribution. So you guys announced that you delay the distribution of private investors by 9 months. Can you walk me through the rationale of that decision?
Yeah, I think there's a lot of uncertainties, especially in terms of regulation uncertainties. So we want to make sure that when the boundary is not quite clear, what's the basically safest zone that we are able to perform. And
so why 9 months? Why not 6 months? Why not 12 months? Why 9 months?
So I think that's after 9 months there's several events. For example, we will basically launch our mainnet within this for example roughly 6 months, so within this time frame. And also there will be another time frame for example this will from the project has been established for more than 1 year, and so that we can be more demonstrate more mature features and more mature I would say what we have done in the white paper.
Right.
So through either our testnet and also all these technologies.
Got it. So for private investors, what would be the distribution schedule right now? So 9 months. After 9 months, what's going to be the distribution percentage, like each month or?
Yeah. So for the rest of the 80%, that will be distributed over 30, 30, and 20 in 3 months span.
Okay, so it's going to be distributed in 3 tranches.
Yes.
Over 3 months, after 9 months. Okay, got it. And what about the other tokens? Other than investors token, maybe the advisors team and also foundation token, are they also delayed as well? Or?
Yes, they are also delayed as well.
Okay.
For those undistributed tokens.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So pretty much right now until mainnet launches, there will be no more new tokens that will be distributed.
Yes.
Okay. Got it. Got it. And and I also see that a couple months ago you guys announced the QuarkChain ecosystem fund. Can you tell me more about the fund, because I don't think there's a lot of information online.
Yeah, that's the fund that we plan to help to build QuarkChain ecosystems, including the projects that already have from like traditional ITs, but they want to have more understanding of more blockchain can help them. And also they also want to raise some cryptocurrency in order to drive their projects. And then we are able to help them to like speed up their process in this area. And second is a lot of new projects in the blockchain area. And they have, like, for example, basically have some prototype or some ideas, but they need some solid blockchain that can able to bring scalability to their applications, not only blockchain. And so we offer this QuarkChain Eco Fund to also help them to speed up this procedure. And then also we are able to also offer, besides like funding, but also other resources in terms of like technologies, and also for example business model, token economies. So yeah, I think we can there are a lot of things that can be done by.
Got it, got it. And have you guys started investing in any projects so far?
Actually, we just started.
Okay.
So we are actually collecting. Basically, there are a lot of projects that are very interesting in Eco Fund, and they are basically several projects that are like actively discussing with us, and then so we are actually in the progress, but we haven't finalized anything.
Okay.
So, but I mean, we run very fast. So once a lot of things get, for example, be confirmed and finalized, then we will run as fast as possible.
Got it, got it. And for the companies that you guys invest in, are they going to be all going to be built on top of QuarkChain, or do they have flexibility in terms of what platform are they going to be built on?
So because this is for ecosystem, so it's like we are one prerequisite is like the application will be built on QuarkChain as top platform, prioritized platform, but we won't have like, for example, non-exclusive like so for example, they are also able to build, for example, maybe on Ethereum and others, but we have very confidence that we are able to bring all those scalabilities in very short, mid and short term.
Got it.
So that I think they can be benefit more from us.
Got it. Yeah, speaking of Ethereum, so Ethereum, they recently announced Ethereum 2.0, which they provide a lot more details in terms of their future roadmap, Casper, sharding, etc., etc. And if they are successful in their scaling solution, how would you think that's going to impact QuarkChain? I'm also expert in the scalability in the centralized world. So actually, I also watch Ethereum's progress closely. I think one thing that Ethereum try to do is more, I would say, is more more difficult, more complicated than us, and so we were glad to see how this can be make blockchain to be more efficient. So in what way is Ethereum more complicated than QuarkChain? Is it because it's live already, or is there other issues as well?
So both in terms of, like, for example, consensus. So for example, the whole consensus is built on top of proof of stake, which there's still several uncertainties. Where like Ethereum has a serious debates with Cardano of different understanding of proof of stake, while we use proof of work, which has already been demonstrated to be pretty mature.
Right.
And second is that they would like also support kind of more advanced features, including, for example, cross transactions with smart contracts, and which has a lot of difficulty. Actually, we discussed extensively last night because all the projects are working on sharding.
Right.
And so third is that there's also backward compatible with the existing Ethereum. And so in order to make sure like some Ethereum 1.0 and 2.0, they are able to work together, I mean, they also need a lot of work in terms of backward compatibility, which we doesn't have this burden.
Got it. So other than layer 1 scalable solution, there's also other layer 2 solutions as well. For example, sidechain, state channel, and things like that. Do you foresee these layer 2 seeding solution will also be applied on QuarkChain in the future?
Of course, like we also welcome a lot of layer 2 projects. Actually, we closely work with 1 or 2 projects. One is like Southern Network. They are also all working on generalized state channel, and then we are also going to work with them to see how to enable this scalability, both in terms of on-chain and off-chain. And there are also a couple, because since we are using Ethereum virtual machine, which means a lot of existing work has been done for Ethereum can be also easier to apply to us. And so we will see how this, with 2 on-chain and off-chain scalabilities, we can address like more scalability problem. Yeah.
Got it. And you guys also announced you guys have open source your code. Is it 100% open source right now, or is it taking a step-by-step approach?
Actually, currently we open source most of the code, including our client implement in Python, and also including the code that is like including the website. That's the online wallet.
Right.
And we also have several code that is under development, in either research stage or development stage. Since a lot of this code have not been ready in terms of its both features, design, and spec. So we haven't open sourced this project, but definitely we will gradually open this. Especially we are now working towards QuarkChain 2.0, which have been able to support different consensus, even different token economies, support different ledger. So we already have something that is already in experiment, but they are not open source yet because we haven't finalized all the details.
Got it. So those for those code, it will be released once they're in a more finalized version.
Yeah, probably we will release some short version of white paper before we actually open source code. Otherwise, like it's difficult to just directly understand from the code rather than given some white paper to discuss the motivation, background, and how we adjust what's the threat model.
Got it. So the design philosophy and structure of those code.
Yes.
Got it. And let's talk about the roadmap of the project. So you mentioned that you guys are moving very quickly. What are some of the major milestones for the rest of the year, and when do you think the mainnet is going to be launched?
So previous major milestone is open source. And so currently our next basically milestone is to start our testnet, so that we are able to have everybody is able to join the network, and also be able to mine on top of the network. So that we want to study, closely when the mainnet launch, what are the expected issues that happen, like before the mainnet launch and then through the testnet. So that will be very close. We probably will have another testnet event at the end of this year. Depends on if any other issues or significant issues there. Also, we plan to launch our mainnet at the end of this year or early next year.
Got it.
Because like there's a lot of these issues, for example, security or other issues, takes time to discover. Even for Bitcoin, they have some bugs that have been discussed over years later. So we have to make sure that actually we are actively summarize the historical issues that blockchain faces and see if they have the same problem. So there are a lot of things that you need to put, a lot of efforts to put to make sure when the mainnet is launched, we have a very good shape to prevent these bad things happening.
Right, got it. Interesting. And I want to ask about the community building side, because QuarkChain is a relatively new project, so it's not as well known as some of the other older older projects. So I'm just wondering about what's your plan to build up the community in terms of the users and also developer to make sure there's going to be adoption and usage of QuarkChain in the platform.
Yeah, so I think there's several communities. I would say so one is developers, the second is user, the third is probably mainnet.
Right.
And so for the developer perspectives, thanks to the open source, now we are able to encourage more developers to directly work on us, and then to play these components and, for example, join the TPS competitions to see how it's going on as the initial steps. And also we have, for example, some code review and meetups with the engineers to discuss details of our projects.
Are they usually held in the States, or are they usually held everywhere globally?
Oh, we started in the United States.
Okay.
Definitely we will have more. For example, we will visit European the end of this month and early next month. So we will host a series of meetups there. And we also have several meetups in also Asia to discuss this open source code and these things. But we already received a lot of inquiries, and they're very interested in it and ask a lot of questions of the current code. And we are also holding I would say hackathon in Russia, co-hosted with Crypto Plaza.
Okay.
So this will be half-year hackathon, and we learn how.
So is it like multiple events, or
multiple events?
What do you mean?
Yeah. So every month they will hackathon, and we will offer different tasks.
Okay.
And try to find who is able to address some problems.
Got it.
Yeah. So this is from developer perspective. Then definitely, I think we know that like even for the first time Ethereum hold is, for example, hackathon, only 25 people joins, and so I think this is something that is just in the beginning. But we believe that as long as time goes further, then we will have more community members to join us to explore the benefits of scalability that are offered by the QuarkChain. And second is regarding users. So from user perspective, I think one major is how they are able to use our products. And so from that perspective, we are going to prepare more user-friendly products in terms of wallet, in terms of D-apps. And so we already have some developing, for example, our wallet, not only the online version, but also desktop version, and also mobile version.
Okay.
In addition, we know that actually a lot of them, for example, when people play CryptoKitties and like for 3Ds, still using desktop with MetaMask. But we believe it would be much better if user can just use the cell phone to play these D apps.
Yeah.
So we try to think about how to build this platform. I would say the wallet platform to enable a lot of applications to easily use our scalability and run the applications also that. So the third is regarding miners' perspectives. So recently I just published an article regarding ASIC resistant algorithms.
Okay. ASIC resistant?
Yeah,
okay.
algorithms, even GPU resistant.
Okay.
So that the target is to be more CPU friendly. So that more people can easily join to mine. And so we already published some early comparison, the code, and also the underlying logic, and also discussed with engineers in Google, Facebook, local, extensively to discuss the idea and underlying logic. I think they receive a lot of comments. So I think that will be one steps that we want to.
I guess your goal is to decentralize the miners so that pretty much everyday people with the average computer can also mine QuarkChain.
Yeah.
Is that right?
Yeah, that's the goal.
Okay, got it. And so you guys are focusing on the scalability issue, and if you guys are successful and a lot of dApps come to you guys, there will be a lot of transactions, and because all the transactions are recorded on the blockchain, the state of the blockchain will become very bloated, very large, very quickly. So, is there anything that QuarkChain is doing to mitigate this issue?
Yeah, I think this is some I would say serious problem. I think there are still a lot of things making progress. One is like how to prune the state, also while still maybe to convince others saying that this state still is a valid state from Genesis block. Another is that using sharding technology so that I can partition the state to more smaller state. So these states will have a less storage, which is similar to Google and Facebook have done.
Right.
So here we already inherent, like by design, we have this feature to be able to split this state to smaller ones. But definitely need to see how the real applications will grow and how this will work and how we are able to, for example, to adjust these algorithms to make sure that the state is able to process by, for example, single machine or single node efficiently.
Got it. And last question for you, Qi. Where do you see QuarkChain in 1 year and also in 5 years' time?
So in 1 year, actually, we just, for example, publish our QuarkChain 2.0. So at least for 1 year, we are building some infrastructure for QuarkChain 2.0 to implement many of the features. But at the same time, since QuarkChain 2.0 is a very flexible, I would say, framework to build blockchains together with sharding different new chains, and so we are expecting for in the next 5 years, there are a lot of, like, for example, domain-specific blockchains that are able to incorporate together, and there are also some new consensus that we believe can be also incorporated easily together.
Okay.
So I think there are a lot of works. It's not just like, hey, when we launch the mainnet and it is stable. Actually, we already have a very long-term plan of several years that are able to address a bunch of problems in the blockchain.
Okay, I see. So depending on future technology, there's going to be future solutions to solve the different issues, and you guys plan to incorporate those into QuarkChain as well?
Yes.
Got it. All right, it was very informative, and thank you for chatting with me again.
Yeah, my great pleasure. Thank you very much.